Yeah, it's wartime. It's wartime. Gather the troops, yeah, it's wartime.
The Most High is going to have mercy on you, black Hispanics and Native Americans, if you return back to Him.
It's not before me. It's wartime.
We are gods on this earth. We are God's chosen people.
Hit the block, yeah, it's wartime. Calling all Jews.
Blood in your veins is the same that was in Christ's veins. You say that don't matter?
Time's me, yeah.
It's our job as the watchmen to warn our people. Wake up from the lies that you're in. We must return as the Israelites, because that's who we are.
You are now tuned in to Wartime Radio Show. Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel.
Hey, welcome to Wartime Radio, WPJM 800 AM. My name is Officer Iuic, and on my left,
Officer Gedaliah.
and on my right,
Officer Eton.
hey, we the frontline soldiers going to war today for the black man.
That's right.
Today's topic is how to be a man.
Right.
So we're going to dive right into it. Give me Romans 15:4.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 15 and verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we, through patience and comfort of the scriptures, might have hope.
Hey, so we always go into the scriptures to lead us out because, you know what? Our hope is in the Lord. Right. And so, you know what? Today, the black man, the most hated man on this earth, we're going to go to battle for you. Hey, give me 1 Maccabees chapter 2, verse 64.
This is the book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 2 and verse 64. Wherefore, ye, my sons, be valiant and show yourselves men.
Do what?
Show yourselves men.
The black man, it's time to show yourself a man in this world. Because right now, we done laid over and they done stepped right on us. They're killing our children. They're killing our women. And where's the black man today to stand up for the black family?
Standing on the corner with his pants on his behind.
That's it.
That's
right
what's
there.
going on right there.
That's where they at.
And it don't make sense. Like
Or in the Christian church being effeminate.
right, letting the women rule over them.
Right.
Instead of getting out in front of the community and showing what the issues are, what the problem is in our community, so that we can take back our communities and take back our youth, because they have been captured by the philosophies and doctrines of this world.
That's right. Read that again from the top.
Wherefore, ye, my sons, be valiant and show yourselves men in the behalf of the law.
And in behalf of the what?
The law.
That's the problem right there. We're supposed to be showing ourselves men in behalf of the law, but we got our pastors in these churches telling the men that the law is done away with.
Right.
When it's been commanded to stand strong for the law.
Right.
Hey, we got to come back to be men. Because you know why? Because when we went away from the law, you know what happened? We became weak.
That's exactly what it is.
We became weak and couldn't even defend our homes, to the point where the woman threw you out the house.
And that goes into why as a people we're not successful either. Because we just read it right here, to show ourselves men on behalf of the law, to keep the law so that we shall obtain glory, right?
Right.
Even if we want the things we do in this life, on this side, we must keep the commandments and show ourselves men. Could I get a script? Let's get 2 Kings 2 and 2, or is it 1 Kings 2 and 2?
1 Kings 2 and 2.
1 Kings 2 and 2.
I was looking at it.
Damn.
You in the spirit. Go
Oh,
ahead, bro.
praise.
You in the spirit. I will lamb back off of you.
1 Kings chapter 2 and verse 2. I go the way of all the earth. Be thou strong, therefore, and show thyself a man.
So we must show ourselves men by doing what, Reed?
And keep the charge of the Lord thy God, to walk in his ways,
Read.
to keep his statutes and his commandments and his judgments and his testimonies, as it is written in the law of Moses.
So we must keep the laws of God.
That's
now,
right.
Like you said, so that we can be successful. Read on.
That thou mayest prosper in all that thou doest, and whithersoever thou turnest thyself.
That's why we don't prosper. Everybody want to follow that wicked prosperity doctrine and crap, but don't nobody want to do what this just said. Everybody want to do what they want to do. This right here says you will have everything you need, and whatever you touch and put your hands to, if you're doing it right by God, you're going to be blessed with it. it's gonna work out for you. Now
It's-
that's why black businesses close within the first 5 years of them being open, because they want to work on the Sabbath day.
Right. And Lord forbid mentioning supporting each other, but that's a whole other topic. But to land back off of what you said right here, right? Read verse 3 again.
Verse 3. And keep the charge of the Lord thy God.
That's the problem. Our men today don't understand what the charge of the Lord thy God is, because we've been taught a watered down version of this Bible to give you a shuck and a jive and a smooth saying on Sunday, and not knowing what the charge of the Lord is. The charge of the Lord is keeping the commandments. But the children that we have today in our society are not, they're raised up on the young men specifically, because today we're talking about our black men. The young men specifically are raised up on Lil Nas X, the Baby, all of these rappers out here that are pushing a different type of vibe into our children's minds that's causing them to be weak, effeminate, and soft men out here in society, living a sinful life. So the charge of, if we come back to keeping the charge, which is what we're pushing and striving to do here on Wartime Radio, is to teach our people, to teach the black man. It's time for you to stand up on your feet and keep the charge that your father gave you, the Most High God. We got to come back to that.
Hey, that thing is crazy. When, like, for this generation to be coming up on Nas X and all of them, like when you see the Nas of our generation,
Right.
it's way different.
It made you want to learn something.
You know what I mean? But now you got, hey, I tell you, if y'all can find the image, whatever, I don't know if you can find it quick, but you got this dude that is professing to be out there effeminate, professing to be in sodomy and everything. And that's in the music.
Profession to be a Satan worshiper.
A Satan worshiper.
Come
that's
on now,
in
dog.
the music.
Come on, man.
Versus back then, we was just coming up, yo, man, it's just hardcore rappers. You know what I mean? Baggy pants.
And who's speaking against it?
Look.
Where the pastors at?
Right.
Nowhere to be found.
Where's the black leaders?
Hey, their children are listening to it too. The
Unbelievable.
pastor's children. Ask me how I know. Just ask me. Ask me how I know.
How you know?
Because one of the young ladies, this is a sister. One of the young ladies at my at the job that I work,
Stay right there, bro.
her
Stay right there.
father
Yep,
is
that's
a
what we
pastor.
want.
And every day she comes in, she's listening to Lil Nas X. She's listening to the Baby, Herbert G, whatever his name is.
Oh goodness.
All of these new age rappers. Look at this.
Look at this right here. So now, mind you, now the prison system, a lot of our men are locked up in prison. 90% or over, at least I know over 85 of the people locked up come from our people, our race of people. Then you got these men right here. This dude done turned around and portrayed it to be this right here. So now you see feminine men. Now these must look, this bars right there like they in jail, all this. And he's standing there like that right there.
They're glorifying this stuff, man. They're trying to make
the
it look
crap.
like it's good.
Like it's good to go to prison and be this way right here.
Right. And you don't think this is a target at your children? Hey, you must.
That's all they freaking kids listen to.
Right.
Unbelievable.
Right. Go back to that verse again. Verse 3. I want to bring something out in that verse.
1 Kings chapter 2 and verse 3. And keep the charge of the Lord thy God, to walk in his ways.
To walk in his ways. That's the problem with the black community right there, why we can't come together. Because we won't walk in God's ways. We want to be individualites. We want to keep doing our thing and we want to follow our oppressors, and all we have to do is walk in God's ways.
Right.
Because when you walk in God's ways, you don't have anything to do with the wicked. The wicked is the people who want to tear down the black community. They want to help their oppressor. They want to sell your drugs. They want your daughters out there being whorish. So how can you ever
And they want your men to be like the image we just showed.
Exactly. They want them just like that, weak, effeminate, and you know what? That destroys the black family.
Right.
That destroys the black family.
Right, because what's it push is pushing a feminine vibe to men.
Right.
Right? So if you push that feminine vibe, it's continually pushed to our children, to our young boys, and they grow up like this, they're not going to want to reproduce. They're not going to want to reproduce, which means eventually we die off.
Yeah, right. They are literally creating a genocide society.
But think about who gave him the record deal and where he gets his money from and where he gets the ideas to continue to push this to our children.
Yep. Same people that put us
why
on
they
the boats.
why they pushing our children, pushing our people to be effeminate? They out there practicing shooting guns.
Right.
They out there ready to go to war against us.
They're teaching their boys how to hunt and kill.
Right. Hey, give me 2 Ezra 14 and 14. Because that nature right there, that weak and feminine nature, hey, we got to get rid of that. We got to learn how to come back to strong black men. Let me rephrase that. Strong black Israelites. We got to stop being afraid to be Israelites.
Right.
Because that's the problem why a lot of our people won't come into this truth. Because they want to be Americans.
Yeah.
They want to be Americans, and they don't want to walk in the ways of God. They really don't want to be the children of God.
You know what? That's heavy what you say, because there's a lot of artists and stars out there that know that they're Israel, but they are too afraid to walk, like the scripture says, to walk in the ways of the Bible.
Right.
Too afraid.
Yeah, now, and the thing is, look, and we understand some of y'all that you might be in an entertainment life. That's your job. So we ain't telling you to quit your job or nothing. But some of y'all won't even support your own people and support the movement.
Right.
And that's what the Bible says you should do. You may not be able to be in the front, but why not support it? Why not support it? We trying to wake our people up. You our people too.
Read that.
This is the book of 2 Ezra, chapter 14 and verse 14. Let go from thee mortal thoughts. Cast away the burdens of man.
Read.
Put off now the weak nature.
Put off what?
The weak nature.
We got to put off that weak nature. We got to put off that nature of really wanting to be an American, because that makes you weak. That makes you weak when you run away from who you are, from your heritage.
The American dream is not for the black man, Hispanic man, or Native American man.
It's American. It's an American nightmare.
Right. For us, it's an American nightmare, like you said. It is not for us, man, but that's what we want to do.
Right. We should be learning that this Bible is a revolutionary book to rise you up mentally and spiritually and bring you back to your strength, bring you back to your God. Because we've been too long without a God. We've been too long. You know what? The only hope we had was in our oppressor. And the whole time our oppressor had his foot on our neck.
And this is what's stuck in the mentality of the black man. What's there is, you just said, for so long we've been without a God. So that's because we broke the commandments of God, right?
Right.
Now we broke the commandments. We went in the hands of our oppressor. They gave us a God. They gave us a God to worship. Now, this God says that same gender relationships are right. That's good. All right. This same God says, come as you are.
Right.
The same God has completely changed the mentality of how we think, how we see God, and how we see each other.
Hey, they made the black woman hate the black man.
Exactly.
They gave her benefits.
Exactly.
Benefits. They gave her a home. They took away their children. They gave her what we call it, child support.
Right.
They gave her food stamps. You know, they gave her Section 8. If you get rid of the black man,
you get all this.
You can get all.
You get
all.
all
And if
that.
we catch them up in there,
But they don't tell them that
we gonna take it.
Right.
So, but what you just said was that we didn't have a God. Our image was taken. Mm-hmm. So now that we've been given an image, like I was saying, and this image that we've been given says all of these things are right, it's no question and no doubt about why our young rappers in this industry continues to push what's being pushed on our children, because in their mind, God is the so-called white man.
Right.
And the so-called white man said that I can make this much money if I push this to our black men.
Right.
So it's okay to do it because he gave us the image of God anyway.
Right.
That's what they say. Hey, let me get a script over there also, Yana Sean. Get Hosea 3 and 4. See what they did to us. Because we don't have the image. The image that we got today are all negative. They're not our images in the first. Our images are in the Bible. But but we don't have an image, so therefore we go off. And we got a couple of videos to show y'all too, to actually talk about how they destroyed it. So the stuff we talking, people know it, but they won't do nothing about it.
Right.
Read that.
This is the book of Hosea, chapter 3 and verse 4. For the children of Israel shall abide many days without a king, and without a prince, and without a sacrifice, and without an image.
And without an image. You don't give the young black man an image, what are you going to turn out to be? What everybody else want him to be. He don't got a positive image of King David, Christ, King Solomon.
Right.
He don't got the images of Jeremiah and Isaiah. All he's sitting up here walking around, all the images he sees is, well, the dope boy on the block. He got all the money, got all the girls, the rappers that's doing the drugs and selling the drugs, and everybody else. That's what they see. They don't have an image, and that's what they go after, and there is a system set up to destroy us when we do so.
You know what's key right there? Without an image, without a king. You know what they did? They gave you a history and said your history started on those slave ships.
Right.
So you know what you don't have? A history of your forefathers standing up being strong men.
Right. That goes back to the first verse that you read. This Bible tells us to go back to our forefathers, to read the things that was written aforetime.
Right.
Because it teaches us about our forefathers and foremothers.
That's right.
But we wouldn't go into the book because why? They made us think it was a white man's book.
Right.
And it was crazy is our people never question that. If the Bible is so fake and phony and made up, how come it was so detrimental? How come you will be put to death
for
reading the Bible in slavery?
Makes sense. But hey, our people don't be like, oh, well dang, you know what? We couldn't read the Bible. I'd have got murdered way back then.
Let me find out what's in here.
Find out what's in here. What's the problem? Because ain't nobody stopping me now. We'd be like, no, they gave it to us in slavery. No, brother. What?
So I got a precept real quick for what you just pulled. Give me First Maccabees 3 and 48. Because like you said, our images were tainted.
Right.
But when were they tainted? And it falls back onto what y'all bringing out about going back and searching out your forefathers. So when you start searching out your forefathers and you learn the history of this Bible, you're going to come to the realization that everybody in the Bible is black.
Right.
Everybody in the Bible, all of your forefathers, your Jeremiah, all of the prophets were black men.
That's
and that is something that we have yet to understand and come to understand as a people. But let's read that. First Maccabees chapter 3 and verse 48.
This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 3 and verse 48. And laid open the book of the law.
The book of the law is the Bible. This is your heritage. Our enemies laid open the book of the law. Come on.
Wherein the heathen.
Wherein who?
The heathen.
The heathen are your other nations. The heathens are the ones that broke into your house, stole your book, and claimed it as theirs. Wherein the heathen did what?
Had sought to paint the likeness of their images.
They sought to paint the likeness of their image. That's called what? Iconoclasm. All right? When you look into history, you'll see images of your forefathers that were black, but now they have been watered down and painted a pale color where in some instances they couldn't get all of the dark off of them. You'll see some of them still have brown fingertips right at the edges of them. They came in and changed the images of our forefathers to fit themselves. So now the black man is running around here with his pants up under his behind, don't know who he is.
Looking like the darn image we just looked.
Looking like a little monster on the street.
Damn.
We got to wake up and come back to our laws, back to our heritage. This is where God's image is. This is where the true image of the black man lies.
Right. Hey, give me Job 8 and 8. Because like you said, we got to come back. And for us to come back, we first got to learn where to start.
Right.
We got to stop thinking that, hey, that our oppressor is going to give us information to help uplift us.
You mean they ain't going to teach you that in first grade?
No.
Second grade?
No.
Third grade?
Listen, this Bible is like an atomic bomb that will destroy your enemy.
It is, right.
It will destroy the lies that's been taught. All we got to do is learn how to master reading it. And guess what? We the only ones that can break this Bible down. We the only ones that can go in this and pull out these deep sayings and things. Your enemy can't do that. But guess because it wasn't meant for them. It was meant for you.
Right.
That's what God told you to do. Read.
This is the book of Job, chapter 8 and verse 8. For inquire, I pray thee, of the former age, and prepare thyself to the search of their fathers.
That's what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be searching this Bible out to see what your forefathers did.
So I ain't supposed to be looking on SoundCloud and Apple Music to see what the newest song is by Baby?
No, not at all.
Oh.
That's all our people do. They surf the internet for entertainment.
Unbelievable.
You're supposed to be searching this Bible out of your forefathers.
So
this is your
right.
history.
So I can't go on Pornhub and be searching for,
Nah.
Oh, so we searching for the wrong things.
We searching for the wrong
Oh,
thing.
okay.
Look,
Dang.
we should be searching how to be a perfect man. You know what I'm saying? And where would you find out where to be a perfect man?
That's
How about
only- that's
Ephesians
only in
4 and
the Bible.
13?
Bring it out.
Which is how about out of the perfect book.
Right.
A perfect book, learning how to be a perfect man. But, they don't convince you that nobody can be perfect. Read.
This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 4 and verse 13. Till we all come in the unity of the faith and of the knowledge of the Son of God.
Read.
Unto a perfect man.
Unto a what?
A perfect man.
Read.
Unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of Christ.
We supposed to be learning how to walk in the fullness of Christ. That's what we supposed to be doing. And how you going to do that if you're not keeping God's laws?
You can't.
no
All
way
that,
that you
all
can do
that,
that.
all that talk that our men do and stuff in the communities, or have these little meetings and forums and stuff like that. All that talk ain't gonna help them.
No.
Matter of fact,
hey, we gonna go to
like
the
that
video.
Right.
Hey, let's play the video.
Let's play that video. Because our people do a lot of talking.
Yeah, I mean, look, they made some good points,
Right.
but we gonna go into how we're supposed to do what they talking about.
So the founding fathers made a conscious decision to create a system of slavery because they needed free labor to build the country. They put justice aside in order to do that. Slavery went away. It was replaced by a system that was designed specifically to drive black men into prison so they could rent them out to the plantations and the mines, and that was called Jim Crow. So that business model is etched into the American psyche and the American way of doing business, so that now in Louisiana, for example, 74% of the people in prison are black and over 90% of them are men. And it's not because black men are genetically predisposed to make bad choices. It's because America is designed to do exactly what it is doing, which is drive black men into prison. And what used to be a system of control and exploitation is now morphed into a system of control and elimination.
We can talk.
Hey, stop it right there. Stop right there. So
He said a lot.
yeah, he said a whole lot. But the thing is, what he's saying, God actually said it was going to happen.
Right.
So and look, ain't nothing new under the sun how we do. Let's get Isaiah 51 and 20.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 51 and verse 20. Thy sons have fainted. They lie at the head of all the streets as a wild bull in a net.
Now, a wild bull in the net, ain't that a trap? Ain't that what we call it? That's
Right.
what we call it, the trap. Out it says the sons, the men. That's what we talking about. They fainted. And it says they lie at the heads of the streets. That's why you see all the corners with our men on them, like with their pants down, selling drugs.
Right.
In a trap. Read.
They are full of the fury of the Lord, the rebuke of thy God.
That's why they getting destroyed. That's why they are in the prison houses. That's why the system is able to be set up, is because we won't do and follow the blueprint for these things not to affect us as long as we're doing what God say, but instead we want to do it our way, and now we out here doing exactly what God said and exactly what he said he's going to bring fury up on us for doing.
Right. That's going on in that stubbornness that you was looking for in prison houses. That's Isaiah 42 and 22.
All praises.
Get that Isaiah 42 and verse 22.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 42 and verse 22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled.
Robbed and what?
Robbed and spoiled.
That robbed and spoiled is going into being robbed of the laws, statutes, and commandments of God, and spoiled, destroyed because of not having the laws. Read on.
They are, all of them, snared in holes.
Snared in holes, trapped in holes. Come on.
And they are hid in prison houses.
That's what we just read. That's what we just saw right there. They are hid in the prisons. Go ahead.
They are for a prey.
We are for a prey, because it's true what he said about after slavery. Yeah, those laws were set up to imprison black men so that they would work and sell them out to plantations, because we were the prey. Why did we become the prey? Because we broke the commandments. It's that simple. Read on.
And none delivereth.
Nobody can deliver us out of this. Today in 2021, we still pack out the prison houses.
Yep. And look, you'll have most of our people say, well, they ain't do nothing. Free so and so. Mind you, they was selling drugs and killing people.
Right.
Free so and so. Free them for what?
Exactly.
They out here killing people, killing their own brothers and sisters, selling drugs, and then our people put on the shirt, free them.
Right.
That doesn't make any sense. So, hey, get
before you go,
go
yeah,
ahead.
I want to. Hey,
You gonna
read
finish
the
it
next
out?
verse.
Oh yeah, finish it out. Go to the next verse.
For a spoil, and none saith restore.
Read.
Who among you will give ear to this?
Are y'all listening on the radio today?
Right.
Read.
it.
Who will hearken and hear for the time to come?
Are y'all just saying these brothers just up there running their mouth? Listen to the word of God.
They don't realize that time to come is right now.
Right.
This is your time to hear.
That's
It's
it.
been written in here and sitting on grandma's nightstand with dust on it for the last 500 days.
Right.
For the last 5 years, 10 years, that this book done collected dust at grandma's house. Now, that last part which you just read, and here for the time to come. That time to come is now.
Right.
Nowhere has this truth been coming out of this Bible on earth. During no other time on earth has this truth been being pushed like it's being pushed right now.
Right. I bet our people didn't even know that us being in prison house was even in the Bible.
Right.
Exactly.
Read that next part.
Who gave Jacob for a spoil?
Who did that? The Most High God did that.
Right.
He gave you blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans. He gave you over to your enemy. Read.
And Israel to the robbers.
Did
not the Lord? He against whom we have sinned.
That's why we here,
There
because
it
we
is.
sinned against God.
That's right.
It is.
All because we don't want to do the things that he gave us for our knowledge, for our wisdom, for us to rule this planet.
And this is and we're specifically, again, we ain't forget the topic. We're talking about the black man because he is the leader. He is the one who has to rise up, come back, and fix his community. We can't do it alone.
Look, the women ain't fixed it.
Oh,
Single mothers can't fix it. We
Women-
went over that last show.
You're gonna hate to hear, and I know y'all hit him in the head. I wasn't here, but I know they hated to hear it. But you destroyed the black community, and you continue to destroy it by raising up these monsters, running these daddies off.
Right. But
Man.
guess what? It's going to take men of the Lord to bring this back to bring our people and uplift them up.
That's it. That's it. But we gonna you was done with that script. So let's go to Romans 13 before the break.
Hey, you should have finished that.
Oh, you got some more?
You should have
Finish that
verse.
For they would not walk in his ways.
We wouldn't do what?
Walk in his ways.
What's so hard about walking in God's ways?
Because they want to be like Lil Nas X.
Little Nas and them about tripping and stuff.
Read
So
on.
let-
Neither were they obedient unto his law.
Again, it wasn't be. We gonna every show you gonna hear the law, the law, and they still won't get it. Go ahead, officer. What you about to pull?
Go to Romans 13 and we'll read 1 through 3. And that's just real quick because of the fact y'all got to understand that what we said about our men being in prison houses and stuff like that, we understand some people go in there and they are innocent, but that's a very small number. Most of us that are there did something to be there.
Right.
And then we'll say that we were never supposed to
Especially during this time. Now, during the Jim Crow laws
Right.
time,
Jim Crow,
it was
it-
so
it-
many
yeah, you
innocent
could-
brothers. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Today, sin has been magnified to a degree where we jump off the porch at 7 years old committing sin.
Right.
10-year-old murderers.
That's it. Hey, read that real quick, also straight through.
Romans chapter 13 and verse 1. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of God. The powers that be are ordained of God.
So that's telling us those that are over us, God put them there.
Right.
And he said, do what they said do. That's why it's called a judicial system, because the laws came from the Jews. Read on.
Whosoever, therefore, resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of God, and they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation.
That's why you locked up. They said you shouldn't go stealing and robbing. Now you want to go and hit a lick and rob your people in your own neighborhood. And then you wonder when you get caught why you get 5 years. Or you're selling drugs. They said don't be doing that. They don't sell drugs and XYZ. You're on the corner doing so. You say I'm trying to feed my family. God said you going to prison then.
But these brothers be in the house selling their grandmama and their
Right.
uncles crack.
Yeah, selling own family. Read on.
For rulers are not a terror to good works.
So the rulers were not set up to be a terror over you if you're doing what God said. Read.
But to the evil.
But to the evil. If you're evil, that's why they were put there.
Right.
Because you wouldn't do what God said. So therefore, he had to put a whole nother nation over us to judge us. Read.
Wilt thou then not be afraid of the power?
Read.
Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same.
Do what's right so you don't be in the prison houses.
Right.
So you can be at home for your wife and your children.
Where they cussing us at right now?
They be all right.
Right now, we're going to take a break. We're going to listen to the smooth sounds of original royalty. We got on deck the Benjavites, the better days. It must be a better day.
One coming. Roll that.
Bro, all I can say, I don't agree with nothing you just did. You totally disagreed, or let me say it this way. You went against everything I told you to do. You disregarded me as a spiritual father, spiritual leader. And all I can say right now for you, bro, you're going to suffer the consequences.
Hey, shalom, baby. Babe, don't worry, I'm gonna take care of it.
You always say you're gonna take care of it. You say you're gonna take care of everything all the time.
And it's always taken care of.
I'm
That's
sick
why
of
we're
this.
still
I'm
here.
sick of this.
Dream me a dream for better days. Pray for Jah fi pass my way. Oh please won't you come to save me from my misery. Too long me day in a slavery and I gone astray.
Samurai, man a fierce. Flex pan the devil with the spiritual muscle. Warfare with the demon, them we a tussle. Jah dep on one side, Satan a get defeat. They got grave for with enemies, grab a shovel. Give them all the shirt off of your back, them still a love you. Bite the hand we feed them, turn round and them a cuss you. Never get a chance to do it again, me learn me lesson. Just because me smell up with a boy, no mean me trust you. Dream and I pray for better days. Can't come around way if you're stuck in all your ways. Parasite, them can't elevate. Them not really with it, them just going to our fears. Man a be shot to the feet, put on the armor, the procedure complete. Me nah go back, nah retreat. All traitors, every Jezebel must get delete. Me no sleep on a demon, me keep a full clip. Conspire me downfall, cause them want see me slip. Stay close to the real ones, we seal off and legit. Cause I gotta use them to keep your soul from the pit. This a war life, I saw the damn thing said. Man I go to the east, me no have no regret. That walk you perilous, you better watch how you step. If you loyal, eternal life you a get.
Dream me a dream for better days. Pray for Jah fi pass my way. Oh please won't you come to save me from my misery. Too long me day in a slavery and I gone astray. So me say Jah, me beg you for your mercy. Jah, won't you please come rescue me. Jah, you are the King of Kings. Me say Jah, back down Saddam in Babylon. Jah, save your people Israel. Jah, stop the pain and suffering. Jah, me tired of this slavery. Jah, won't you hear my cry today? Dream me a dream for better days. Pray for Jah fi pass my way. Oh please won't you come to save me from my misery. Too long me day in a slavery and I gone astray.
When you know about hard life, blood, sweat, tears, sacrifice. No money and you can't pay your bills. Living in a poverty no nice. Living in a poverty no nice. In a nice, be within a sardine and rice. White rice, house full of roach and mice. Minimum wage can't suffice.
Dream me a dream for better days. Pray for Jah fi pass my way. Oh please won't you come to save me from my misery. Too long me day in a slavery and I gone astray.
All praises, all praises. Hey, that's Benjavites. with the better days.
That thing
video
smooth,
is
bro. That
fire.
thing smooth, man. That thing smooth, bro.
Boy, original royalties would be dropping nothing but hits. That's your new Motown. It's coming straight out of IUIC.
That's right.
Hey, all praises for that. Hey, we ready to get right back.
Right back on into it.
Right back, because you know why? The black men.
You gotta get that second point out of this thing, because it go right in what we about to go.
Oh, all praise. Well, let's roll this beautiful bean footage.
But my perspective is very simple, and that is, I know what the forces are outside my house. So if I am properly preparing that son inside of my house, it doesn't matter what they are throwing outside of that house. And so we tend on this conversation, we tend to want to walk it where we start with F, we start with N, we start with P. I got to deal with A. I got to deal with what is happening when that child is in the womb. And then what happens when that child comes out of the womb? And then what happens when it comes to the decisions that we are making? We can talk about young black men. Somebody is having these children. Somebody is birthing these children. Somebody is dealing with how you're raising these children. And so I can't talk about some system unless I talk about the most basic fundamental system, and that is dealing with family.
That's a heavy point.
Absolutely.
Look, that's what's his name? Roland
Martin.
Roland Martin. Look, we you know, he say some dumb stuff sometimes. He be off.
He do.
But that right there, he was on point.
He was dead on point with what he said.
I just got one.
But you know
one
the problem
with what he said.
You know the problem what I see
What you see?
is that he said it, but he's not following.
The hell is this?
Here go the problem I got.
What you saw?
He said all I heard was I.
Yeah, he ain't talking about the nation.
All he said was I got it. That's the problem.
Right.
The problem is we've been all about I and my for all these years, and we have not considered we.
Everybody
We have not
wanna
considered
do me.
us as a nation of people.
Yep.
That's what Zephaniah 2:1 is saying. Can I get it real quick?
Right.
Can I get it real quick? Because yes, he said some good stuff, but if we continue to think I gotta, and I gotta, no, you ain't got to do nothing. That's been the problem for all these years. Read that.
Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1.
Come on.
Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
Why God ain't say, hey, gather you and your family. Gather you and your family, O family not desired. He said nation. It can't be about just I, bro. It got to be about us. That's just the one scripture I want to put. But I'm going to let y'all go.
Read it again.
Read it.
Read
it again.
Let it marinate on
He was
there.
on fire. I was like, shoot, let him cook.
Read it.
Gather yourselves together.
Come on.
Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
See, Roland got to realize that for so long we have considered in our own minds how I or how self is going to resolve an issue that pertains to a whole nation of people. You cannot sit in your own house and resolve a issue that is happening to a nation of people. Give me Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 5. This is your dang on problem.
You in the spirit.
This is his problem right here. This is our solution. We've marched. Our feet should be hurting. We have held our hands up in the street. They shot us in the hands. Come on, man. When are we going to apply what God says apply? Read what you got.
Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 5.
Listen up, Roland.
Trust in the Lord with all thine heart.
So I can't trust in I?
Trust in the Lord with all thine heart.
Oh, okay.
And lean not unto thine own understanding.
I can't lean to I understanding.
Lean not unto thine own understanding.
Come on.
In all thy ways acknowledge him.
In everything that we're going through, we should be acknowledging the Most High God.
Right.
I can't just acknowledge my son.
Right.
I need to acknowledge your son.
Right.
I need to acknowledge your son and these brothers' sons around. I need to gather all these sons together and say, children of Israel, you are the gods of the earth. But this is how we're going to take the earth back, by adhering to what God says. You finish that?
And he shall direct thy path.
That's how we're going to be directed.
That's it.
It's that simple.
Right. Hey, give me Romans 10 and 2. Hey, you broke that thing down so sweet. Most High keep telling our people, stop leaning into your own understanding, because that's what we do. We don't really know this Bible. We don't know this Bible. We go to church to get entertained. Let's just keep it real. We ain't going there to find out about God. Hey, we send our children to school wanting them to get an education, but then we go to church wanting to hear a song and feel good. We don't go there to find out how to walk like God commanded us. We don't go there to find out how we should, what things we need to do to get back on our feet and stop being at the bottom. We don't understand that this earth was created for us to rule.
You been to church today? Yeah. What you learn? I don't know, but I feel good.
Right. Read that.
The book of Romans, chapter 10 and verse 2. For I bear them record that they have a zeal of God.
Because you know what? You can ask anybody on this earth, do black people got the Spirit of God on them? And they'll sit there and say, because nobody got the Spirit like us. Nobody loves God more than us. But there's a problem. Read.
But not according to knowledge.
That's the problem. That's the problem. We've been leaning on our own understanding, but not according to the knowledge of this Bible. Read.
For they, being ignorant of God's righteousness.
Not having a clue that we're supposed to be keeping God's laws, statutes, and commandments. Read.
And going about to establish their own righteousness.
What do we do?
Establish their own righteousness.
You know what? It's okay if you want to be gay.
You want to do your own thing.
Right. It's okay.
Your own thing.
What's that little acronym they use? Bolo, Dolo?
YOLO.
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 You only live once.
Yeah, you gonna burn. Too.
Okay.
Read.
Sucks to be you.
Have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of God.
You know how you not submitted unto the righteousness of God? Because you won't come out these churches on Sunday.
They won't come out the clubs on Saturday.
Right. Yeah. You won't stop being a whoremonger. You won't stop being an adulterer. You won't stop committing fornication. You won't stop hating your brother. You won't stop hating your sister. You won't submit yourselves to the righteousness of God.
And for the black man, he don't realize the righteousness of God makes him a God.
Right.
That's right.
Look, our black men want to be boys, and that's how they act. Christ compared us to boys anyway. You know
exactly.
What I mean? That's how he talked about us, because our mindset is not manly, man.
Right.
We roll around here looking like boys, sitting there talking like we hard. Then white man, you look, it's your block until the police show up. Stop it.
You know,
so, go ahead.
Gaining the understanding of the. Give me Psalms 82. Gaining the understanding of what the Most High God has called us back into, and it's calling you, Pastor, Deacon. It's calling you back to the knowing what the Most High God had given us, and is calling us back to through Christ. You cannot want to be that successful in this world. I don't care about no success in this world. What I care about is success of making the kingdom.
Right.
And coming back to these law, statutes, and commandments changed the brother that was on the street and that is on the street from sagging his pants, selling drugs to his community, into a righteous, upstanding individual keeping God's laws and commandments. But we don't see that as good because we bug the hell out. Read what you got.
Psalms chapter 82 and verse 5. They know not, neither will they understand.
Some of y'all ain't gonna never understand this. Come on.
They walk on in darkness.
We walk in darkness in this world. This world is the world of darkness. Homosexuality, darkness. All right? Same-sex marriage, darkness. Right. All of these things that we've been permitted to smoke weed, darkness. Our children having boyfriends and girlfriends, darkness. Right. We walk in darkness. Come on.
Right. All the foundations of the earth are out of course.
The whole foundations of the earth are out of course because the black man is out of course. Come on.
I have said, ye are God.
He ain't talking to the woman.
Right.
He's talking to the black man. He said what?
Ye are God.
God, the Most High God, said that you are God. Come on.
That's right.
And all of you are children of the Most High.
Read.
But ye shall die like men.
Now we're going to die like men. Why? Because we ran from the commandments.
Right.
We continue to run from keeping God's commandments. Come on.
And fall like one of the princes.
Now we're going to fall like one of the princes. Read.
Arise, O God.
Read it again.
Arise, O God.
The Most High God is telling you brothers out there in your community with your pants under your behind, with your drawers showing, to arise. That is not manly. You're not a man. He said, arise, O God.
Judge the earth.
Do what?
Judge the earth.
I thought we couldn't judge.
Judge the earth.
What did God say?
Judge the earth.
Read.
For thou shalt inherit all nations.
God says when the black man rises up and judge the earth, you're going to inherit all the nations. You're going to inherit all other people on the earth like he gave them to you from the jump. It's time to wake up.
Hey, that's some heavy stuff that he's saying, because that's godlike. But what we don't even do this right here. That's because look, we ain't gonna let y'all forget the topic, the role of a man in the community. Let's get this. 1 Timothy 5:8. Let's see what this godlike action is that we should be doing.
Bring it out.
Let's read this. We got a few scripts, matter of fact. Try to make sure we get them in his few minutes. Read that.
This is the book of First Timothy, chapter 5 and verse 8.
Amen. Your voice, all right, bro?
Yes, sir.
All right now.
Come on now, dog.
All right, let's get it.
This is the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 5 and verse 8. But if any provide not for his own, and especially for those of his own house, he hath denied the faith and is worse than an infidel.
That's talking about you, black man. If you do not provide for your wife and your children, you are worse than an infidel. You are going to be destroyed. That's a godlike move for you to get a wife and take care of the kids and that woman.
Right.
That's a godlike move. But you want to act like a boy and leave the woman, have her out here. Look, some women will run them out the house, but some of us men will just run.
Bro,
I said, today we talking about the men. We ain't gonna get on a woman today.
I know a brother that got 17 kids.
Huh?
He got 17 kids.
You ain't even got time for all them, especially if they ain't with the same woman. You ain't got
He
time
ain't with
for
none
all
of he ain't with none of their mamas. Like, he got like 14 baby mamas.
Ooh.
Well,
That's I don't even know what that looked like.
That's pain beyond
That's
death.
messed up. So so we got that. So we must take care of our families, our household. Go to 1 Timothy 3.
Right.
Now let's read verse 1. We're gonna read down. Read.
This is the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 3 and verse 1. If a man desire the office of a bishop, he desireth a good work.
And look, we got all these men that want to speak for us, claim they the leaders of the community. A bishop is a leader. That's what this is saying. If you want to be a leader in your community for your people, that's a good thing. That's a good work to desire to be that person. But what do you got to do to be that person? Read.
A bishop then must be blameless.
A leader must be blameless. Selling drugs ain't blameless. Killing your own people, everybody blaming you for everything.
Right.
The community got needles on the ground because you put them there.
Right.
You helped put them there.
Right.
So you're not blameless when everybody see the community is run down because you helped do it.
But he got something to say about how the neighborhood can be
right. How it
Sit
can be
your behind
fixed.
down.
Unbelievable.
You asking for a $60 million jet, but you want to
God.
invest that into your
Yeah,
community.
that also go for you pastors. Y'all lying pastors, y'all in this group too.
Oh, I was about to hit him when you read the next verse.
We reading about, we talking and saying people on the corners, y'all ain't no different. Read on.
The husband of one wife.
The husband of one wife,
So,
not
officer.
baby mama, not baby daddies.
So, officer, so you mean to tell me pastor can't have a wife and
then
a
sleep with
sister in the
people
congregation?
all in the front row? No.
Oh, so he ain't no leader.
No.
Oh, okay.
That's what God said.
And you Israelites out there trying to have multiple wives, you ain't no leaders either.
There it is.
Oh, okay.
Read.
Vigilant.
And a vigilant person, that is a person that is very watchful, that is a protector. You got to protect the community. How you going to do that if you the one destroying it? Read.
Sober.
Look, you ain't high all day. Read on.
Of good behavior.
Of good
Hey, you
behavior. Look,
You ain't high at all.
right. You ain't high all day at all, period. You ain't high. You know what I mean? You got a clear mind. You got your right mind all the time. You're not sitting out here bugged out and crap.
Right.
Talking nonsense. Read on.
Given to hospitality.
Look, given to hospitality. See, we don't have no hospitality toward each other.
Right.
That's why we'll shoot each other up on the block over some nonsense, because we have no charity, no hospitality. We won't even help each other out. You remember how we used to be able to go door to door
Right.
and ask for sugar?
Right.
Ask for a cup of sugar. I grew up like that.
You try that now.
You do that now, you might have a gun in your face.
I remember
but the
when-
white man could ask in the hood.
Bro, I remember when it all was changing. Cause I used to wear my auntie house out next door every day for about 2 days.
Look, these wasn't even aunties.
Your
These
mama-
was people that had no blood relationship,
But listen.
but they knew who we were.
Right.
The man was there. We go over there, Mr. So and so,
With your coffee cup.
all that coffee
Yeah,
cup,
exactly.
and they pour you a whole joint. We don't even have that for each other no more.
Exactly. And I said aunties because that's what we started calling them.
Yeah, calling them all. Everybody was family.
Everybody was family. You know what I'm saying? Not no more.
You right about that.
They be talking trash. I bet she might come over here asking me for some sugar.
Oh shoot, read.
Apt to teach.
Able to teach. What you gonna teach if you out here destroying?
Right.
That's hypocritical. No one's gonna listen to you. Read.
Not given to wine.
Not being out here an alcoholic like we see on the corner. Read.
No striker.
Look, that's what our people love to do. Argue all goddamn day.
Argue and fight.
Argue and fight all day. Read.
Not greedy of filthy lucre.
You're not greedy for the mighty dollar. You're not going to sell your soul and down your community like Nas X and them doing for money.
Yeah, I mean, you know how sick it looks for black people who got a little money to be on TV and videos, flashing out about how much money they got.
In the hood look like it is?
Right. Why the people around you are struggling to eat, to make things, and you are bragging about all that you got.
Where's the baby from? He's from Chicago, ain't it? He's from North Carolina, but he lives in Chicago. Where you live at?
He's in North Carolina.
The baby. No,
Charlotte.
I ain't talking about J. Cole. I'm talking about the baby.
Bruh.
Charlotte.
I don't know. I don't care.
Well, I be seeing him I seen him in Chicago.
Okay.
That's why most of his videos, a lot of his videos like to be based out of Chicago. Anyway, it's a hood everywhere you go.
Right.
My point is, the baby got like $500,000 around his neck.
Right.
But right around the corner where he grew up at looked like crap.
Man.
The hell is this?
That don't make no sense.
Unbelievable.
And you know what? As soon as they start pushing that doctrine, pushing the music that they pushing, all of them little jewels that they got go away because people like, nah, you don't want to do what we do. We taking all that and clean your bank account out too. Ask Nick Cannon.
I'm gonna tell you, they on there flashing all that money, but secretly, you know, they doing their little Nas X thing behind closed doors.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why they don't speak up against it.
This makes me sick thinking about it. Read on.
But patient.
We don't have no patience for our people in our community. Read.
Not a brawler.
See, we ain't supposed to be like that. Look, you too quick to pull out a gun. And what's the little post that I seen? Before you pull out a gun on somebody, go sit in the bathroom for 24 hours and then say if that's what you really want to go do. Because that's what you're going to be doing for the next 25 years.
Right, exactly.
Sitting in there with a toilet in a room for all day long.
With a man watching you.
With a man watching you. But that's what our people want to do. This right here says we're not supposed to be brawlers. Read.
Not covetous.
Not covetous. Because why would you want something that don't belong to you? We ain't even happy for our people coming on the come up. We want to pull them down because we want what they want.
Right.
And we'll go and rob them for it.
Look, and they want you, woman.
And look, they want, look, as soon as the brother go to jail, the best friend sleeping with his man wife or whatever.
Who does that?
Our people want the woman. They want your job. They want your car.
Bruh.
They want your
money.
diamonds.
Bruh.
And they'll kill you for every one of those things.
Because they feel like this is how you get status. Right. This is how you get status and stature in this world.
They want to come.
Right.
This is how you get recognition.
Because the status that they're looking for is of the world. We're not looking to be gods.
Exactly.
Like you read earlier. These are God-like traits that we should and should not have is what we're reading. Read on.
That's right. One that ruleth well his own house.
How you going to rule it if you ain't there? How you going to rule it if you ain't there? How you going to rule your house and you ain't there?
Bruh. Hey, most of our men won't get a home. They out there trying to rule the streets.
Yeah, rule the streets and what's the post up, man?
Oh, they're trying to post up.
Trying to post up.
Yeah, they're
you
trying
in
to post
there.
up. In there.
You trying to let your girl take care of you.
Come on now, dog.
Unbelievable. Read on.
Come on, man.
Having his children in subjection with all gravity.
That means you got to spend time with your kids too. Right. To have your children in subjection, they got to know you. Because you know how the children that don't know their parents, they be like, you ain't my daddy.
Exactly.
They don't submit to them because they don't know them.
Exactly.
You got to know your child to be able to do this. So that means you got to spend time at home with your wife and kids.
You got to earn the respect of your children.
And remember,
you
not
can't earn
baby
it.
mama.
You can't earn it if you're out there in the street.
No, that ain't earning nothing.
You can't earn it if you ain't taking care of them.
Unbelievable.
Read.
Unbelievable. Read on.
For if a man know not how to rule his own house.
So if you can't even take care of your own house, read.
How shall he take care of the house of the church of God?
The church in the Bible is the Israelites. So how you going to help the community out when you don't take care of your own house? Right. You'll sit up here and have these meetings. Let's go and have these meetings and talk about XYZ, how we got to come up with the money, put the money together. You can't even do that in your own house.
Bruh. Right.
But you're going to want to tell everybody else to do it. That's why it says you have to be blameless. You have to be doing the things that you're asking everybody else to do, and then you turn around and help everybody else do it. You got to first be this example. Read on. No, I think we good. Yeah, we good right there.
So you mean you can't be a hero of the word? You got to be a doer.
You have to be a doer. These things, this is how a man is supposed to conduct himself in the community, in his house. Like what is it, Roland Martin? When he mentioned about the house, this is what he was talking about.
Right.
This is what he was talking about. Yeah, we got to deal in the house, because if we fix it in the house, we don't have to worry about all the different stuff that's gonna come when they walk out, because we done showed them how to move in this world, because we know what's out there. We must show them how to deal.
Right.
But that ain't what we want to do. We want to give them our own understanding, and then they jacked up.
Hey, give me Psalms 1:1. So we got to learn how to walk. We got to learn how to be righteous men. And we got to make changes in our life. So, black man, this has been a message for you. Read.
Psalms chapter 1 and verse 1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly.
You got to learn how to get you some righteous men. You're going to have to learn that, you know what, the only true righteous men that's walking this earth right now are called Israelites.
So your friends can't be the ones on the block.
Right.
That you got to change your circle.
But they're on the block, and you out there, they'll tell you, I'm a grown man. They'll curse you, but I'm a grown man.
Come on, you're a little boy, according to God.
Because, hey, think about what you read. You read Zephaniah 2:1. Gather yourselves together. Gather yourselves together with righteous men that's keeping the laws.
Right.
That's rebuilding our nation.
That's right.
Read.
Nor standeth in the way of sinners.
Does what?
Nor standeth in the way of sinners.
Yeah, you got to let that old circle go. Because if they don't want to change, hey, they're against your nation. They're against your God.
So if you're standing up at the corner store with your pants under your butt and your drawers showing, are you standing in the way of sinners?
No. Right.
Oh, okay.
Read.
Nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful.
No. They hate God. They hate what you're doing. Hey, our people like crabs in a barrel. They can't stand to see you trying to make a better life for yourself.
Dang. That's it.
And especially when you turn to God. Now you're in a cult. Now they hate your guts. Now they don't want to have nothing to do with you.
Bruh.
You know what? Be glad. Let them go. Read the next verse.
But his delight is in the law of the Lord.
What is his delight in?
In the law of the Lord.
Because guess what? I delight in keeping the feast days. I delight in keeping the Sabbath. I delight in coming around the brotherhood.
Right.
Read.
And in his law doth he meditate day and night.
What do we do?
Meditate day and night.
Because this is how you rebuild your nation. This is how you take care of your family. This is how you show love to your brother and sister. And this is how you love God. By meditating these laws, statutes, and commandments day and night.
That's right.
Now, before we go, a brother might say, how you going to tell me I ain't no old man standing on the corner? How you going to tell me I'm a grown man? How you know I ain't a man? Give me Sirach chapter 19 and verse 29.
There you go.
Sirach chapter 19 and verse 29. So when we see you on the block pitching, or when we see you walking in the mall or walking in Walmart, wherever you're walking at, and we see your pants below your behind,
Who does that?
we know exactly what you are.
Right.
Read what you got.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 19 and verse 29. A man may be known by his look.
The Bible said a man may be known by his look. A man ain't out here walking around with his pants up under his behind.
Bruh.
Men are out here with their pants up with a belt on. These brothers out here with tight pants on under their behind with a belt on. What sense that make?
None.
How you got tight pants and they fall?
Tight pants and they
Look,
under your
look,
behind.
First you gotta squeeze in them like the women be squeezing in the leggings.
Right.
Then you got a belt, and the belt ain't even at your waist. The belt is around your thighs too.
Right.
Unbelievable.
Finish that real quick.
And one that hath understanding by his countenance.
So we can look at your face and look at what you got on and tell if you have understanding of God's laws. Read.
Right.
When thou meetest him.
When we meet you, that's how we can say, bruh, you're not a man. You are not a man. You need to grow up and become a man. That's all on that?
Yes, sir. Hey, let's get this last verse. Give me Ecclesiastes 12 and 13.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12 and verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter.
Read.
Fear God.
Do what?
Fear God.
Read.
And keep his commandments.
Fear God and keep his commandments. Read.
For this is the whole duty of man.
That's your whole duty as a man.
That's it.
To keep the law, statutes, and commandments of God.
Right.
Hey, this has been Wartime Radio. Hey, I've been here with my fellow host,
Officer Gedaliah.
Officer Aton.
Hey, we're your frontline soldiers, and today, black man, you have learned your role on how to be a man.
Stand up.
With that, we say shalom.
Shalom.
thank you for tuning in to Wartime Radio Show. Follow us on all social media platforms at IUIC, Columbia, South Carolina. Join our congregation every Saturday at 4 p.m. located at 1823 Gregg Street, Columbia, South Carolina. For more information, call us at 803-708-4861 at extension 237. Share our show with your friends and family. And thank you again for tuning in to Wartime Radio Show.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.